stream where we're talking about how it's finally over. It's finally over. Some of the craziness in real estate is finally over. We're going to start seeing maybe some price declines. We've had 5 really solid years of price growth. And today we're going to talk about a Newsweek article that's talking about posing the question, are housing prices finally going to come down this year? So we're going to get into that. As always, it's Wednesday, so we're live streaming on the channel. If you're new here, my name is Joe. Thanks so much for giving me some of your valuable time. And we're always talking about the latest news and topics. Of course, at any time, if you guys have any questions about anything in the article, or you have your own real estate question, maybe you're in the middle of buying a house, maybe you're in the middle of selling a house, maybe you're thinking about doing both those things, and you've got some questions and you don't just want to lob them into ChatGPT or Google, well, pop into the chat. I'm always happy to give you my advice. I hope everybody's had a good week so far. We're going to get into the article. This stream might be a little bit on the shorter side. It depends how long we get through. I only have one article today, but then I'm also thinking about maybe doing some cruising on Zillow, in another segment of the random price, random city. So stick around. We'll probably do some of that a little bit later in the stream. So let's get into it without any further delay. Oh, I already got an early comment from Innovative. Innovative, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you. Hey, now you're supposed to be the channel I go to get out of my Crash Pro echo chamber. Well, don't worry. We're not talking about the market crashing. Don't worry. We're talking about prices just not being so crazy, astronomically exorbitant anymore. Sorry to ruin your parade, Innovative, but it's not going to be a crash. But it looks like we might be seeing the beginning of prices softening a little bit, a correction, if you will, or at least a decrease in price appreciation. Over the last few years, we've seen prices appreciate really, really quickly. I think in 2021, we saw roughly about like a 16 or 17% appreciation year over year on average, which is insane. That is ridiculously high. That is unsustainably high. And typically we're in like the 3 to 5%, 3 to 4% range per year. So to be in the 16 to 18% range is really, really high. So we're not talking about a crash. Sorry, all you Crash Bros out there. It's not happening. I'm always happy to go back and forth with you in the comments if there's any Crash Bros watching, but that is not going to happen. But we are talking about how there's probably going to be a little bit of softening in pricing and a little bit in the market. Now, as always, guys, it's really going to depend on, where you are, right? I just had a couple listings in the last month or so. One of them in an area where the inventory is a little bit higher, a neighborhood where the inventory is higher, and we priced it appropriately. We presented it well, got good photos, got the house prepped, and we still sold it in less than 2 weeks. And again, this was in a area, in a market where there was not a lot of inventory shortage. But what we're seeing now with inventory is, it's kind of interesting. We're seeing the inventory tick up, but we're still seeing the good houses sell. Before, previously in 2020, 21, 22, and even into 23, people were buying houses that maybe weren't even the best of the bunch, but it was the housing that was available, so they bought it. This was especially true in 2020, 21, and 2022. And now what we're seeing is we're seeing those listings that maybe are the B and C grade. We're seeing buyers say, you know what, no, I'm not going for that anymore, especially at these prices and these interest rates. I'm not going for subpar listings. I'm only going to go after the premium listings. So the good news is at least in my area, again, every market's different, right? But in a lot of the markets, we're still seeing that if you have a home that's presented well, good photography, it's prepped for sale, it's nice and tidied up. You've done some fixes, some minor repairs, enhance the curb appeal, price it appropriately, and we're still seeing those listings sell rather well. But because inventory is racking up, because we are seeing an increase in inventory, which is what we need, we are seeing a little bit of softness in pricing because, again, this whole time, guys, it's been a supply and demand struggle, right? That's why we've had the huge increase in prices over the last 5 years is we've had a very, very low supply and a very, very high demand. Well, that's finally starting to, I don't even want to say invert, but it's starting to change a little bit where the demand is sort of now holding steady or waning a little bit in some areas, whereas the supply is growing. So what happens? Prices stop accelerating so quickly. And in some markets, might even recede a little bit. So we're not talking about a crash, but we are talking about a shift in the market. So the days of your 15 offers, 10 offers, 20 offers, the days of your 50,000 over the asking price, those days are over. And now we're talking about when we might see prices come down, and will it be this year? So that's the article we're going to get into right now. As always, guys, if you have any questions, put it in the chat. Got any comments, any thoughts? What's your take on real estate? What market are you in, and what are you seeing in your market? Are you seeing homes sit longer? Are you seeing sellers cut their price? Are you getting a good deal on your real estate? Let me know what's going on. Hey, David, how's it going, buddy? Hope you're having a good evening. David, out in Omaha, what's going on in your market? How are things going? I know that nationally we're kind of on a shift here, and buyers are getting back some power. What are things looking like in Omaha? Let us know, David. Want to hear from you. All right, guys, let's get into the article. All right, so this is from Newsweek. This is just 2 days ago. U.S. housing market. Will prices come down this year? Which is a $100 million question. Everybody wants to know. By the end of this year, experts were expecting 2025 to mark the rebound of the U.S. housing market, with buyers' demand boosted by the slightly slower pace of home price growth and rising inventory. And that was true. A lot of people were kind of expecting 2025 to be a little bit of a bounce back, right? It was one of these things where the housing market was sluggish in the second half of 2022, very sluggish in 23, a little bit better in 24. And we thought, okay, 25. Okay, we're finally going to kind of get our feet back under us. Inventory is rising. And in the end of 2024, in December of 2024, we thought rates by this time could be low sixes or even high fives. And of course, that hasn't materialized. And rates are one of the biggest things that are holding buyers back, of course, along with pricing. And we all know this: when prices are high and rates are high, affordability is low. And that is what that's what is holding people back to an extent. All right, David, what do you got? Slowing down, sales are down, prices have leveled off, inventories is up. So David, would you say it's a buyer's market, or would you just say that maybe it's a little bit more equal right now? Where would you put it right now, David? Love to know. Innovative, what do we got? Texas Governor Abbott increased our homestead tax deductions this week, estimated $10 billion in tax savings. Should be about $400 a year in our price range, $290-ish. Hey, any savings per year is going to help. I'm imagining that some of the people in Texas, some of the older population that are on fixed incomes, are probably way into that, I would imagine. I know that's one thing that I think about. I know that Texas is pretty wild on their property tax law and rule. Here in California, we got Prop 13, so it can only go up a maximum of 2% per year. So at least if you're a senior on a fixed income, you kind of know how to plan for it. It's pretty regular. It's easy to account for. And I know in Texas, it's not that way. They can just kind of hit you. And if you're on a fixed income, that's killer. So I'm sure that there is a lot of people that are in the older demographic, the seniors on fixed incomes, that are happy to get any relief that they can. Although I really think that Texas probably needs to put something into place about protecting property taxes for those over the age of 55 or 60 or even 65. We have to think about our senior citizens. And at some point, we can't be levying insanely huge property taxes on them. We shouldn't be levying insanely huge property taxes on anyone, in my opinion. But I don't make the tax law, unfortunately. It'd be cool if I did, but it doesn't happen. So, anyways, let's get back into the article. All right. Over 6 months into the year, however, this forecasted scenario has failed to come to life. Instead, the U.S. housing market is in a bit of a slump. Yeah, you can definitely say that, as growing inventory is piling up in the market without finding interested buyers who are being kept at the sidelines by sky-high prices, elevated mortgage rates, and growing economic uncertainty. Yeah, and all those are true. The high prices and high mortgage rates, we've been dealing with that for a little while. So I think buyers are kind of used to that. And to be honest with you, I think the buyers that are out there that are serious, I think they have probably already sort of accepted the fact that interest rates are what they are. Yes, they're high, but if you remember, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 months ago, we talked about on the stream about how consumers can deal with higher interest rates if they stay stable, right? Consumers can stomach higher pricing as long as it's not a grotesque increase or an increase on pricing on a necessity like insurance, where you don't really get a say in that. But with something like interest rates, the fact that at least there was some stability in the interest rate market, and we've seen that it's really stayed between about 6.6 and 7. It's been within that 0.4% range, which is very, very helpful. Would it be more helpful if they were between 6 and 6.4? Absolutely. But at least they've been holding steady. It's interesting to see what is going to happen with interest rates. We know that the inflation numbers have been looking very, very good. I think the last inflation was only 2.1%. Innovative, correct me if I'm wrong, because I know you're hip on the economic data. But I believe last inflation numbers are at 2.1%, which the Fed's target is 2%. And the Fed only cares about two things: inflation and unemployment. That's it. The other thing that came in was unemployment. And the labor market, I wouldn't say it's softening, is starting to show some signs of softening. Now, we don't ever want people to lose their jobs or be hard up. But the fact of the matter is that the Federal Reserve, if inflation is at right around that 2%, and if the labor market starts to bend a little bit, break a little bit, and we start to see job loss claims rise or unemployment rise, we will see interest rates cut. And that will be a welcome relief to a lot of home buyers. It looks like that could happen still at some point this year, but we're not sure. Either way, with high prices, with high interest rates, and then you throw in some economic uncertainty with Godzilla tariffs, these tariff deals not really materializing the way that maybe Trump and the Trump administration perhaps had hoped. They said at one point it was going to be 90 deals in 90 days. And I think we've done like 3 or 4 and none of them have been really landmark. And then to top it all off, we've got some geopolitical stuff kicking up, which we're not going to get to on that channel. That's a whole different thing. But we got some people across the world throwing missiles at each other, and that never does anything positive for financial markets, because again, it just injects uncertainty. Which, if there's any silver lining to that, which there really isn't, this isn't even silver lining, but one of the side effects, shall we say, is that it could potentially lower interest rates. But still, that whole uncertainty of geopolitical conflict and those high tensions, it could affect our housing market and our economy, definitely. Inflation is down in the low 2s. Yep, the drop in housing will push that down in the 1s. Too late, Powell strikes again. Yeah, you're right. And that's an important note, because one of the biggest, stickiest factors of those high inflation numbers was the cost of housing. But now that is starting to kind of pull back a little bit. So yeah, and that's one of the things that I saw early on. I remember this when inflation was high. They were saying, yeah, inflation's high, but the reason it's sticking in this 3 and 4% range is because people keep spending more money on rent and mortgages. And so the prices keep going up, and therefore kept the inflation index high. So it was a bit of a negative feedback loop for a second. And yeah, Powell has a really, really tough job. I like the guy, but I think he is a little bit late. The Fed's always been conservative. They have a very, very big ship to steer. I kind of give him the benefit of the doubt. And I'm a real estate agent. I would love to see interest rates at 5%. I would love to see interest rate cuts. Cut them. It helps my industry, and it lubricates things. It keeps that flow going. We've talked about how the flow of real estate is extremely important to the U.S. economic sphere, right? That's the biggest factor of our GDP is related to the real estate sector, buying and selling. Not just buying and selling houses, but all the side effects: moving companies, termite companies, contractors, real estate agents, title, escrow, home improvement stores, all of these, manufacturers, appliance manufacturers. You buy a new house, you get new appliances, you build 400 new homes, you need 400 new ovens. So that's a very accurate statement. Innovative is that now with this softening of the housing market, we could see that inflation drop below 2. And if that's the case, then the Fed could have a very ripe argument finally to perhaps lower some interest rates, which could be beneficial, which definitely would be beneficial. So, all right, let's get back into it. In light of these dynamics, experts have had to reconsider their expectations for the year, and it could be good news for home buyers. Newsweek asked 3 real estate insiders what they think will happen in the U.S. housing market in the next 6 months. Why did things not turn out as initially expected? A surge in inventory across the US, as it happened, was widely expected by experts. It was going to be the change that was finally going to loosen up the market a bit, giving buyers more options and bringing them back to the market. And yet buyers are staying put. And again, I know this. Remember, guys, hyper local, right? Hyper local. We are talking about, a national news outlet taking national information and kind of averaging what's going on. But in your area, it could be different. Like, we've identified a couple of weeks ago, we're talking about the Northeast, New England, and sort of that Northeast pocket of the United States. It's still red hot. It's still red hot. Multiple offers. My brother's in New Jersey thinking about buying a home, and he's like, "It's crazy here, man. It's crazy. It's still like the pandemic." So there are still some markets that are firing on all cylinders. Again, like I just described to you, even here in LA, for those of you who don't know, I'm a real estate agent. I'm about 40 miles east of downtown LA, right on the border of LA County and San Bernardino County, the Inland Empire. And still, if the properties are moving, if they're priced well and presented well. So it's important to remember this is hyper local. And I will say that, an increase in inventory is probably a good thing. In fact, I know that it's a good thing. An increase in inventory can help restore some balance. It's really not healthy to have such a voraciously active seller's market. It pushes prices up. I mean, for all the reasons that you guys have seen, right? We know why it's unhealthy. Affordability goes down, prices go up. People are fighting for the same house. It's just not a good thing. So I personally think that this pop in inventory is kind of a welcome sort of rebalancing of the market. The number one reason behind the current housing market slump is that mortgage rates have not declined by as much as they were expected last year. Realtor.com senior economist Jake Krimmel told Newsweek. Yeah, that's true. Forecasters initially projected several rate cuts in 2025, but the Federal Reserve has held off for now, with the potential for the trade wars to negatively impact both inflation and the labor market. He said, yeah. And if we didn't have this tariff trade war stuff going on, and if we saw the same softening in the labor market or the signs that it's starting to soften in the labor market, plus we saw these inflation numbers, the Fed would have cut rates. But again, it's that uncertainty. The Fed is uncertain about what's going to happen with Trump's tariffs and the deals that they're trying to do. And again, it's one of these things where those can impact what happens with interest rates. And the Fed doesn't want to make any harsh knee-jerk reaction to decisions, because this is the type of thing where one decision to raise or lower interest rates could make a very big difference and affect the economy greatly. So they want to obviously get it right. Hey, Cackleberry, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Hey, Joe, my husband, he is in the propane business. All right, propane. All right. Is noticing that more Airbnbs are being put up for sale. Not sure that means, but I'm glad to see them go. Yeah, well, I think that there's a lot of reasons to that, Cackleberry, especially in the area that you're in, where it's a little bit ripe for Airbnbs. I don't know the territory that your husband works. I would like to know, like, where is he seeing these Airbnbs? Is it in your area? Is it in your neck of the woods, or is it in a different area? And I think for the most part, now investors are probably cashing out. I mean, think about if these people bought those Airbnbs in 2017, 2018, 2019, or heck, even 2020, right? They got some good appreciation. They probably got to use it themselves as hosts. And they are now looking at the market going, okay, it's finally starting to slow down. Let's put it on the market and let's take our profit and run. Also, on top of that, they might be seeing that there's other avenues in investment that are returning higher rates. Stock market's chugging along pretty well, and maybe they're just going, you know what? I don't want to do the Airbnb thing anymore. And there was a big rush to buy Airbnbs. There has been a big rush to buy Airbnbs. And so there's a little bit of potential oversaturation, especially in those Airbnb destination towns like Palm Springs, or like the mountain towns, Big Bear, Wrightwood, things like that. See, Idlewild, right? Yeah. So most of them are in Idlewild. So I think when you have a lot of these towns like Joshua Tree, where it was kind of hip and cool to get the Airbnb, back 10 years ago, if you had an Airbnb in Joshua Tree or Idlewild or Wrightwood, you were probably like one of 20, one of 30, and it was kind of a cool little hidden secret. And now it's like, oh, you don't own an Airbnb property, like what are you doing with, like, why aren't you investing in real estate through Airbnb? So I think there's a lot of different things coming to a head. I think as people wanting to cash out, take their profit and run. I think it's an possible oversaturation in the market. And I think it's people looking to other forms of investment that were maybe potentially a little bit just more hands off. You put your market into a mutual fund, you don't got to do anything. Airbnbs are some work, right? So I think that those are probably a few reasons why we're seeing some Airbnbs put on the market. Our population is a little over 3,000, but we have 500 Airbnbs. So there you go. So there's the oversaturation, right? I mean, 500 Airbnbs, that's a really, really small town. And now you can see, I mean, when there's 500 Airbnbs, and especially now with things being so expensive, maybe it's cutting down on the attractiveness of a family going to get an Airbnb. And that's one of the things that I've heard when it comes to Airbnb. A lot of people are like, dang, after all the fees, the taxes, the cleaning, all this stuff, it's more expensive to get an Airbnb than it is. I could just get a really nice hotel room and then I don't have to take out the trash. I don't have to clean the toilet before I leave, like all this stuff, right? So I think that's a pretty good reason on why people are kind of pulling back from Airbnbs right now. Increasing taxes and insurance have destroyed rental income. Yeah, insurance is a big one. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Very noticeable insurance increases everywhere. Hey, Angie, how's it going? Good to see you. Hope your week's off to a good start. Like we're innovative. Our fire insurance has gone through the roof. Yeah. My insurance went up. Gosh, probably a little over $1,000. I mean, I think I paid $2,500. I think I paid about $2,200. Now I pay about $3,500. So, and I live just in a regular neighborhood on a street in a suburb. I live kind of close to some hills, but not like the hills don't like back up to my house or anything. So, but yeah, insurance is crazy right now. All right, let's go back to this. Okay. Even with the Federal Reserve's rate cuts last September, mortgage rates have not budged. Lawrence Yoon, chief economist and senior vice president of research at the National Association of Realtors, told Newsweek, if anything, mortgage rates have been rising recently, thereby squeezing housing demand. And they have. Mortgage rates have actually ticked up a little bit. And I do believe that mortgage rates could be one of the catalysts that opens things. I mean, just think about it. If we had this little pop in inventory, that could be that would have some more options for buyers. Plus, we had interest rates come down to even 6.5 or 6.25. Man, things would open up. We're really, really close, and that's why the market it's crazy right now. And the real estate market's been very, very interesting over the last 5 years because just the little tiniest things have been making these big impacts. Interest rates go up 0.25%, and boom, we see like mortgage demand drop off a cliff, buyers cancel, mortgage rates drop 0.25%. All of a sudden people are like, okay, 0.25%, I'm ready now. And it's just these very small differences. And that just goes to show you how price sensitive these buyers are. Not even price sensitive, but just affordability sensitive that these buyers are, that they're going, man, even just the littlest fraction of a percent in pricing or interest rates all of a sudden makes a big difference in their confidence. As of June 12th, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate was 6.84%, according to Freddie Mac. High borrowing costs are making it harder for buyers to put away enough savings for a home, but properties are just too expensive, even without considering a mortgage. Simply put, prices are still too high. Affordability has not improved enough to pull buyers back in, with persistently high mortgage rates weighing on demand. Crimmel said, home prices haven't dropped meaningfully and buyer purchasing power has improved enough to drive a strong rebound in the market. Yeah, that's another true statement. And, I think also part of the reason that we're seeing that is this sort of deflation in buyer activity is, I think a lot of the millennial buyers and other segment buyers, but especially the millennial buyers, the first time buyers and the move up buyers, I think we're starting to see the divide of two groups of people. The groups of people that were in a position and were able to capitalize on the home prices before they went crazy and they were in a position to buy, and then those that got left behind. So I think that there's a large group of people that were kind of in a good position to buy a home, and they bought. They did that. They did that in 21, 22, 23, and 24. And now the group of potential buyers that's left are maybe the buyers that, don't have quite as much of a down payment as they want. Maybe they can't afford as much as they really need to. And so they're very, very picky. And that is, of course, keeping sales low. So that's just a little anecdotal observation that I've made in some of the things. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but that's what I feel like that happened. Obviously, there's still people out there that are buying homes. There's still people that are going to be ready, next month, 3 months from now, next quarter, next year. But I think that what we're seeing is the group of buyers that was ready, willing, and able have done it. They've got on that boat, and that boat's now sailing away. And I think that the other group of people are starting to feel a little left behind at the dock. But if interest rates come down, another ship will come in, and it's gonna afford more opportunity for those buyers that might be standing on the dock. My homeowners only went up about $100. That's not bad, MH. By the way, MH, hope you're doing well. Thanks for hanging out. Happy Wednesday. And I got my car insurance cut in half. And you got your car insurance cut in half? Must have a 20% agent. Very good, MH. How did you get your car insurance cut in half? That's crazy. And what I forget, MH, like what region of the United States you're in? You don't have to give me a specific area, but just like if you're like what region, because I know that has a lot to do with car insurance. Okay, let's go back. According to these adding these challenges are President Donald Trump's trade policies. Chen Zhao, head of economics research at Redfin, told Newsweek buyers are more wary now because macroeconomic policy has been more volatile than expected, and tariffs have been higher than expected. That means higher recession risk, and more buyers just want to wait and see how things land. What have we talked about for basically this whole year, guys? Ever since really Trump was inaugurated back in January, we've been talking about stability. And we just have not had that. We have not had that since about January when Trump got inaugurated. Now you can think about whatever you want about Trump and the administration. That's not what we're here to talk about. But what we are here to talk about is how some of the decisions that any administration makes affect housing. And you can talk to anybody you want, and they'll probably pretty much tell you that we've had uncertain economic policy with this administration. We've had very abrupt, large changes in policy, which really rocked the boat. And that has led to some instability. And when things are not stable, people take a step back. They don't want to buy cars. They don't want to buy houses. They don't want to make big investments. They don't want to spend money. And rightfully so, they don't know what's going to happen. MH, I disconnected my car insurance from my homeowners. Oh, so you got rid of like the bundle thing. That was a factor in my homeowners going up. Plus I added my roof. Oh, Denver, Colorado. Okay, cool. Okay. So major city, and you added your roof. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Hey, anytime you can get an insurance bill to go down, that's a big win. So good job, MH. And you must've had a 20% insurance agent. You're exactly right. All right. How will the standoff between buyers and sellers play out? Whenever I see the word standoff, especially like this, I think of like an old Western, right? Like they're about to have a gunfight. These are gunslingers, and there's buyers and sellers, and it's high noon, and they're, quick draw. Like, who's it going to be? Who's going to be the winner? With rising inventory and dwindling sales across the country, putting downward pressure on home prices, buyers are gaining the upper hand in the market. Nationally, median list prices essentially remained flat year over year in April at plus 0.1%. So not a crash, but they went up just barely. So almost flat, which, hey, that's not a bad thing. If you're a homeowner or a seller, it's not the best news you want to hear, but you've just enjoyed 5 years of the craziest price gains you could possibly fathom. So having half of a year where it's 0.1%, probably not the worst thing in the world. But in many metros around the country, including Austin, who's absolutely getting cleaned right now. Austin is having a hard time. Minus 6.3%. Prices going down there. Cincinnati, 6.2%. And Denver, MH, your neighborhood, down 5.8%. Prices are already falling. Let's see. Oh, okay. Innovative. State Farm reached out and offered us 30% to jump ship in Dallas. We gave the Gecko hey, 30% to change. I would change to save 30%. Heck yeah. We spent some time crunching numbers. Yeah, good. That's what you got to do. You got to crunch the numbers, especially on stuff like insurance, where like it's a yearly thing. It's a big ticket expense. Not only are you weighing out the cost, the money that you're paying, but also like what's the policy benefits and what's the coverage like, and is that going to be worth it? So yeah, you got to do the homework. Got to do the homework. Sellers have indicated they are more willing to cut prices as well, Krimmel said. Homes are sitting on the market longer and price cuts are becoming more common. In May, 19% of home listings had price reductions, the highest share for any May since Realtor.com began tracking in 2016. Now, one thing I want to bring up, guys, that a lot of times the crash bros will bring up, they'll go, see, look, we're down 6.3%, 6.2%, 5.8%. Sellers are just outright saying we will come down in price. This is the beginning of the housing crash. Guys, let's take the worst offender, Austin, Texas. And we know that Austin had a really, really rough go because it was a pandemic boom town, right? It was one of these towns where people flocked to during the pandemic. The pandemic receded, and then people were like, I got to return to office, or I don't want to move here anymore. Or I'm going to move back to whatever it was, right? So even if we take 6.3%, guys, the housing increase in Austin since 2020 has been unreal. So the only people that are really affected by this are the people that bought in like 22, 23, 24, and earlier this year. But even if they bought early this year, they might have been able to take advantage of the softening prices. But if anybody in Austin, Texas that bought their home in 2021 or earlier, they don't care about minus 6.3% because in the last few years, they've made 35%. Like, is it a good thing that they lost 6.3%? No, but that means that they're still up, what, 29%, 28%? That's pretty dang good. So again, we're not talking about a pricing crash. We're talking about prices heading in a direction that's more favorable for buyers, which is, quite frankly, again, that is what we need. We need more inventory. We need prices to come down. We need affordability to go up. But their advantage on sellers might not be as solid as it looks. While price cuts on listings are becoming more common, it could also be the case that some sellers are holding out for a certain price and are willing to sit out as this season if they can't get it, Krimmel said. So some sellers are just saying, hey, this is the price. If I can't sell it now, I'll try again later, right? So those sellers that aren't in a situation where they have to sell, or they still got some maybe some flexibility in their situation, they're saying, you know what, fine, I'll just wait, stand pat. If sustained, this could suggest that sellers are willing to sit this season out if conditions are not right. Home buyers are in a better position than before, but many home sellers are not in a desperate condition or in need of making a forced home sale, Yoon said. Mortgage default rates are near historic lows. Home sellers can be patient. This is a really important one. There's just not many that are in need of making a forced home sale. Forced home sales were the reason that 2008 happened. Those people had to sell. And in order to sell those homes in a market where there was a ton of inventory coming online, they just had to cut and cut and cut until eventually they were foreclosed or underwater and they didn't make any money or the bank repoed the house. And that we don't have that. As you can see, default rates are near historic lows. Hardly anyone is defaulting on their home, which means if the seller can't sell, then they just say, okay, fine, I'll either wait it out. I'll just wait till somebody does buy it. I'll wait till somebody does, pay my price, or I'll wait till I'm willing to take maybe a lower price if things change. So the days of like panic selling, distress selling, forced selling, we're just not there. And there's no sign that we're going to be there. Overall, the current dynamics unfolding in the U.S. housing market affect both sides. A seller who holds out delays not just their own sale, but the eventual next purchase once they become a buyer in the market, therefore further suppressing housing market activity, Krimmel said. Makes sense because most sellers are also buyers, right? So if that seller holds out, then he's also a buyer or she's also a buyer that's holding out. And that kind of cuts back on this flow of real estate that we're trying to kind of loosen up. Will prices finally come down this year? All right, Angie, what do you got? Yep, I'll wait if I have to. Rates drop, prices will go back up. Yeah, you're exactly right. If we do see a drop in rates, we're going to see more buyers activated off the sidelines, and we will either see prices go up or we will see scenarios where prices maybe go up, maybe not like they did during the pandemic where it's crazy, but we'll start to see a more demand. And then with that might come a few more instances of multiple offers. So pandemic, getting 10, 15, 20 offers. If interest rates go down, not get that many, but maybe you get 4, 5, 6 offers and you sell your house for maybe $12,000 or $15,000 over the asking price as opposed to 50 or 60 over the asking price. So yeah, you're exactly right, Angie. Just gotta be patient. Realtor.com expects listings to continue to grow nationwide, particularly in the South and West, where inventories are already high, continue to put downward pressure on prices. These same markets, which include Phoenix, Tampa, Denver, Jacksonville, and Austin, are already seeing the largest share of price cuts in the country. Over 28% of these listings in these metropolitan areas had their original asking price slashed by sellers last month, according to Realtor.com. You know, it'd be interesting. I'm sure the data's there. I could try to find it real quick, but I don't want to do that with y'all on the live stream. I would love to have them put in this spot here where they were talking about, 28% listings in these metropolitan areas basically cut their list price. I would love to know what that percentage was in like 2018, like just, a year or two before the pandemic, to kind of see what's normal. I'm sure it's not 28%, but it would just be interesting. And that way we could do an apples to apples comparison. Are we really in a period right now where that's a high number of price cuts, or is that just higher than what we've been used to, which is the cycle we're in right now with data and news when it comes to housing. We're used to all of these, oh, it's the highest, oh, it's the lowest, oh, it's the fastest, oh, it's the slowest. It's the biggest sellers market, it's the best buyers market. And that's because we've been running at extremes for so long, right? We've been keep going like this with inventory and pricing. And it would be interesting just to see what the typical reduction in sales price numbers are pre-pandemic. And maybe they'll get to it. By contrast, Krimmel said, the Northeast and Midwest, which remain more supply constrained, with inventory still below pre-pandemic norms, are likely to see more price stability. The key for price changes will be to track growing inventory and time on market, especially relative to their pre-pandemic levels when the market was more balanced, Krimmel said. Markets with high inventory and longer time on market are more likely to see price corrections. Overall, we expect a slow rebalancing rather than a sharp correction unless economic conditions shift more dramatically. And I agree 100%. Even with what we're currently staring down the barrel of with the economy in terms of potential, the tariffs and not getting as many deal dones, and hopefully we're not talking about a major conflict in the Mideast. But if we kind of stay on the course that we're on, I am in that camp. A slow rebalancing is much more likely, where things are going to happen at a much slower, gradual pace, as opposed to one of these just like price drop, right? More akin to a crash. There still just is really no sign of a crash, really. Yoon also said that buyers looking for a good place to buy should look at where inventory is rising quickly. Well, thanks, Lawrence. That's not really the most technical observation, right? Go where there's more supply. Thanks, Lawrence, for that very, very insightful take. Florida condominiums, for example, offer home buyers a great opportunity to negotiate a lower price, which he's correct. Florida condominiums, yeah, you can. But again, then you're going to pay just astronomical insurance, high HOAs, and you might be getting a property that's hard to sell in the future if it continues to be kind of undesirable and expensive. But any price drop should be viewed as temporary or short-lived, he warned. In areas where housing inventory is rising, it's notable that a significant number of jobs are being added. Florida, the Carolinas, and Texas are experiencing solid job gains, he said. And I will tell you that inventory is up in Texas. Prices are coming down in Texas. I have 3 or 4 people that I know personally that are moving to Texas this year. So I know that Texas is adding a lot of jobs. They're attracting a lot of people to the state. And if people come, they got to live somewhere. And so it could be one of these things where 2 years from now, it could be flip-flopped again. Good news is at least Texas has some room to build. All right, MH, let's see. As prices drop and interest rates remain high, if you have a lot of equity, you can use that as a down payment and take out a much smaller 15-year. Yep, that is a great tactic. You're absolutely right, MH. Yeah, get 15-year, pay it off quicker, way less interest goes to the bank, over half, like 60% less interest goes to the bank. And I was going to say something else, but I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, the 15-year is a great option if you can afford the monthly payment on it. In areas where housing, yes, we talked about that. The market surplus can quickly shift to a market shortage if mortgage rates were to fall measurably, say from the current 7% to near 6%. Yep, that will do it if we get anywhere close to 6%. 6%, 6.1, 6.2, even 6.3. It could get wild again very, very quickly. According to Krimmel, that would probably not happen anytime soon. Mortgage rates are not likely to fall substantially. Locked-in homeowners will gradually decide they need to move despite their own low rates. And economic uncertainty is not likely to be quickly resolved, he said. Redfin expects prices to fall by 1% year over year by the end of 2025, but we don't anticipate a larger price decline because many sellers will sit on the sidelines until the market is better, Zhao said. So are we going to see price cuts this year? It sounds like in some markets, yes. It's not going to be, in every market. And it seems like, I think the bigger thing to take away is that we're just going to see less increasing in sale prices. We're not going to see the crazy stuff that we've seen. Essentially, we're in the midst of rebalancing. So if you are thinking about selling your home, you need to consider that. And if you are thinking about selling your home, you really need to get a good agent that knows the market and that knows your area, can analyze your area, because this is really not the time to experiment with price. If you really want to get the house sold, if you need to get the house sold, if you need to move for work, or if you need the bigger house because you're having a child, or if somebody passed away in your family and you got to sell it, now is not the time to just price it like it's 2022 or 2023. Put some crazy high number on it and hope that it sells. You need to be a little bit more realistic when you're pricing your properties. We are not noticing any job growth in Texas. In fact, most companies, including mine, UPS, and my wife's, are both reducing headcount considerably. That's interesting. So I wonder if it depends on the industry. I have a couple of my friends are in gas and oil, and they're being poached left and right by companies, mostly out of Houston, for their refineries there. So I know that seems like that industry is growing. And I don't know enough to know about Texas energy policies or the gas and oil refining business in Texas to know if laws have been passed. But I know firsthand, but it's interesting to see. So I wonder if it's just industry specific to see, some industries maybe are booming in Texas, maybe they're not. Very, very interesting to see. All right, guys. So what we're going to do now is, we're 42 minutes in. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream today. So I'll probably go for another 15 or 20 minutes. And I think what we're going to do now, guys, because I don't have another article because I've been so busy this week, I was only able to find one good article. And I don't just want to feed you guys BS, right? Like some stupid article that's not interesting, that doesn't apply. I don't want to just pick one just to have it. So what we're going to do is we're going to Zillow, ladies and gentlemen. And for those of you that are new to the channel, what we do here is we kind of do a little bit of window shopping on Zillow. And what we do is we take a random city generator. We take a random price generator. We have them generate a city, a price, and then we go to Zillow and we try to find the coolest house for that price in that area, the house with the most bang for the buck, the most unique home, stuff like that. So it's really fun. If anybody in chat wants me to check out a specific area and a specific budget, put it into the comments. I'll be happy to look around and we'll cruise around. Before we get into that, let's see what Angie's got to say. So instead of paying $400K this year, you'll buy it $396. But now in the current market, you may get more concessions. So not always smart to wait. Yes, and you have to also think about, Angie, what is the cost of waiting, right? So if you're renting and your rent's $2,800 a month, you think, oh, okay, I'll just wait another 6 months for prices to go down. Well, that's $2,800 times 6 months that also you could potentially be missing out on. So yeah, you're exactly right. It is not always smarter to wait. And that's why if you are thinking about buying a property or selling, but mainly buying, if you think about waiting to buy, you need to talk to a lender and possibly even a CPA and really crunch numbers to see, is it better for you? And usually waiting is not. Now, that doesn't mean that you should go buy a home if you can't afford it. No, you should wait to buy until you can afford it. But if you can afford the home and you like the home, and your reason is, no, I just want to wait because maybe we'll get lower interest rates or maybe we'll get lower pricing, that's a foolish thing to do. I've always gone by timing the market instead of timing the market. Amen, Angie. You're 100% correct. It's one of the best sayings in real estate. Timing the market is foolish. Get in when you can. Get in when you can afford it. Get in when you see a product that you like, that fits your lifestyle and fits your budget. Cresbard, South Dakota. All right, we're going to Cresbard. We're going to Crestbar. MH, do you have a budget or price point or price range that you would like us to work with? Or I can go to the random generator. I don't know Crestbar, South Dakota. I don't know if this is a $300,000 town or a $3 million town. So let me know if you have a specific price point you want us to search in. While you do that, I'm going to do one random one. And then after the random one, we'll go to South Dakota. Okay. And in the meantime, give me a budget that you're working with. All right, guys. So what we're going to do is I'm going to share this tab instead, and we're going to do this. We'll do this one. So here we go. This is going to spit out 6 cities. We're going to take the first city. And this is actually what we'll do is this. We're going to change this to 1. All right. So it's going to rerun it, and it's going to give us a city in the United States. And let's see where we're going. We're going to New York. All right. So it's going to be like condo time. I don't know much about condos or in New York or apartments in New York. But this is New York, New York. So let's go to New York, New York. Hopefully we get a nice big budget. All right. So our lower limit, we're going to increase to 500K. I'm going to share this tab instead. And our upper limit is right now it's set to, what is this? 3 million. It's set to 3 million. Let's go crazy. Let's go to 10 mil, which isn't even that crazy for New York. All right. So I'm going to hit generate. We're going to hit price. We got a budget of 5 million, 5.2 million, 5.2 million. Yes, the city's so nice. They named it twice. So we're going to run a search between 5 million and 5.3 million in New York City. So we're going to share this tab instead. We're back on Zillow. So we're going to do New York City. This is going to be crazy. This is going to be crazy. Okay. So minimum, we're going to do 5 million. And maximum, we're going to do 5.3. And we're going to hit apply. Okay. We've got some stuff to look at. This is going to be kind of fun. This is like way different. I'm not a big city real estate agent, so this is definitely different. I think for our purposes, guys, for fun, right? I feel like we should be like right in Manhattan, right? Like I don't know New York. Okay. So if anybody's watching from New York, I'm a West Coast. I'm a California kid. I've been to New York once for one day and it was really, really fun. Okay, good, cool. I was gonna say, let's try to find something by the park for 5 mil. Look at this one. This is like really close to the park. What is this? Condo. We got a condo for sale. It's 5 million. 5 million. Can I make this bigger for you guys? I'm going to take away my face. You guys don't need this. Actually, we'll do this one. So at least I'm still there. Hi, guys. All right. So here we are. 35 West 90th Street in New York, New York. Impeccably maintained Robert Lyons Brewer Art Deco building in excellent financial condition on a tree-lined park block with 24-hour concierge. Is a little of your budget, Angie? Sorry. Hey, maybe if you pool it with a friend, you can buy the New York apartment together. So this is interesting that they say this. Notice how in the very first sentence of the description, they say building in excellent financial condition, right? Building in excellent financial. So this is saying they know that there's been issues with condo and homeowners associations not having enough reserves. And now there's been some new policies that have come out from lending specifically relating to the amount of reserves that HOAs or condo buildings have. And if those buildings or associations don't have enough reserves, that buyer can't get a loan, which means seller can't sell, which means prices tank in that building. So this is one of these things where right off the bat, they're saying, no, don't worry. We have excellent financial standing. You're going to be able to get your loan. Hey, Soul Journey. Thanks for tripping in. Hi. I hope you're enjoying Washington State. So Whidbey Island is where you want to go. Okay, we can do that. Washington State, Whidbey Island, and Soul Journey. Do you have a budget that you would like us to look in, or I can pull one randomly, or we can just go check it out? If you got a budget, let me know. And I see MH. Okay, so under 250, got you. We're gonna go there next after we take a look at this condo. Yeah, only 37K a month, baby. Hey, that ain't much. That's not it. Like, it's crazy. Like who affords $37,000 a month? Although I have a feeling that people that are buying this probably are paying cash, but there is also a catch to this one. So let's take a look at the photos. I don't know how to evaluate apartments, guys. I'm not an apartment agent. So I don't know. I don't sell apartments. We don't sell apartments in California. We sell condos. So we'll see. Oh, look, there's a little bit of connection. Soul Journey and wait, MH, I thought you were in Denver. Wait, are you commuting to Washington? I can't keep all this straight. Okay, just be random. I don't even want to think about it all right now. All right, no worries, Soul Journey. We're gonna go to South Dakota, and then after we go to South Dakota, we're gonna go to Whidbey, and we'll look at some homes, see if we can find something cool. Oh, work remotely. Okay, that makes sense. Now it's coming together. Okay, so like your company is located in Whidbey, but you're in Denver. Okay, gotcha. Now I'm following along. All right, let's take a look at this $5 million condo. Okay, let's take a look. This is pretty cool. I don't know much about condos in New York or the high rises, but this looks pretty sweet. I like it. Looks like it's really bright, nice and spacious. That's a ginormous dining table. Oh my gosh, it's huge. Cool fireplace. I mean, already it looks cool. I mean, this like stereotypical New York, like step out onto the rooftop deck. Oh, so is this a studio? Oh no, this is 3-bed, 4 baths, but it's interesting that there's a bed. Is this a bedroom? Wow, this must just be a bedroom. Wow, that's cool. Very cool kitchen, kind of contemporary, a little industrial. Very cool. Nice bathroom. This is sweet. Wow, that's really cool. That's cool. It's cool to have this much outdoor space in any condo or apartment or townhome, especially if this is all private, which I would assume that it is for $5 million. I would assume this is private. That's really, really cool. I mean, I don't know what I'm looking at other than really cool buildings, but this looks freaking sweet. Wow, that's beautiful. What a gorgeous day too. Good. We always love the floor plan is cool. Yes, it looks like these are private terrace. Looks like maybe it's a 3rd floor with the master bedroom being upstairs, but yeah, then there's a terrace off the master. That's really, really cool. That's a really, really nice place. And it's super close to Central Park. Here's the crazy part, guys. So it's $5 million. This estimate says 1.4. Crazy, right? 1.4. That just shows you how Zestimates don't mean anything. Whoa! The HOA is $9,300 per month. $9,300 per month for the HOA. So even if you bought this cash outright, you're still on the hook for $9,300 a month. Boy, that 24-hour concierge really better be worth it. But it does look beautiful. I mean, it really does. 85 days on Zillow, which of course a $5 million townhome, half a block from Central Park. I'm not surprised. Hey, Robert, thanks for hanging out. Good to see you. Thanks for being here, and hope you enjoy the stream. Hope you enjoy. All right, guys. So this is a pretty cool one. I don't know, like we got to take a look at like 1 or 2 more because there's so many. Oh my gosh. This one is like right on. Oh, this looks cool. Almost 5.2, 2,200 square foot condo. Oh my God. Look at that view. Look at this second photo. Yo, like that's Central Park. That's so freaking cool. Like I said, I'm not an apartment guy. I'm not a big city guy, but how cool would it be? I mean, this is like one of these things like I just want to go live there for like a year or 2. Like I want to be like a New York city guy for like a year or 2. It would be so cool. Wow. That's a nice apartment. I mean, that looks gorgeous. Wow. Not bad. I mean, it's 5.2 million. Look at this, like beautiful little sunroom, views of the park and the city. I mean, I could see why somebody would want to live here. But who is paying $5 million? Like who is it? All these big finance people and their families that live in the city? Who is paying this? It's crazy. I can't fathom it. Like when I think of a $5 million home, I'm thinking, something on acres, All right, let's do one more and maybe not by the park. Let's go somewhere else. Let's find a house. Somewhere. Let's do this. Let's do deselect all. Let's do houses. All right, here's a house. Whoa, like this is pretty cool. This is in Bayside, New York. Bayside. This looks sweet. I don't know where Bayside is though. Let's find out where this is. I mean, it's obviously like not in Queens. Okay. Room with Kramer. Queens. Okay. I don't know New York. I don't know where Queens is. I mean, I know Queens is in New York. I know it's a borough, but I don't know where it is. Okay. Long Island. Okay, good. I know Long Island. So Bayside's up. Oh wait, Bayside is like the tip of Long Island, right? Where's it? Give me the map view. Why is the map not loading? Okay. Okay. We're gonna settle this right now. Bayside, New York. Bayside, New York. Bayside, New York. We're settling this once and for all. Map. Share this tab instead. All right, so this is Bayside. Okay, yeah, okay, so this is Long Island. Okay. Oh, so I was wrong. It's not the tip. I thought that's Montauk is up here, not Bayside. Okay, Bayside is here. All right, cool. And this is Manhattan. Okay, I got that much. See, I'm starting to figure it out. I'm starting to figure it out. I see. Okay, okay. Yeah, and my brother lives over here in New Jersey somewhere. I don't know, lives somewhere over here. Okay, cool. So we figured that out. Okay, let's get back to real estate. So this is what we're looking at. 5.25 million. Wow, some pretty nice curb appeal. Isn't this like the quintessential East Coast home? Like this is so East Coast, like New York to me. Like this looks just so like if you told me this home was in Southern California, I'd be like, no, you're lying. I know that this is not. It's not. Angie, let's see. I used to live in the city, Frankfurt. Oh, cool. And loved it, but hard to imagine going back to that. I can see that. I feel like the city thing like is for a certain person. And I also feel like cities are like geared a little bit more towards like younger people. Like, I feel like, like when you're like, 20, 25, 30, even into 35, like it's like, oh, the city, the energy, the buzz, the excitement, the activity, like stuff to do all the time. But then I feel like you get a little bit older and like, maybe it's just like, it doesn't appeal, it just doesn't appeal the same way. But I've never lived in a city. I've only ever lived in a suburb. So I think it would be kind of cool to live in a city for a year or two. Maybe one day when I'm older, maybe my wife and I will just go live in some city somewhere for a year or two. So I got some family on Long Island. Okay. One of my favorite bands is from Long Island. In fact, one of my favorite bands is from Bayside. They're called Bayside. So in fact, I'm going to see them tomorrow night, but not in New York, here in LA. So, all right, let's get back to this. So great looking house, beautiful curb appeal. Okay, a little dated on the inside, like the checkered, the checkered tiles and like, it's a little bit dated, but it's an impressive home. Coffered ceilings. This is cool. Very elegant. Ooh, nice dining room. Cool. Breakfast nook. So let's look at you. This is what 5.2 million bucks will get you on Long Island. Nice big bedroom. That bedroom's huge. Interesting choice on the sink. I think we need to do some updating here. I think we need to update the sinks a little bit. Update the toilet. I love this little doily detail, this gold leaf trim on the toilet. That's really nice. Whoa, that's a ginormous shower. See, whenever I see showers like this, and my wife made a good point. She was the one that brought this to my attention. These big showers, like they're really cool. Like there's no threshold and they're just open. It's like, you're just showering in part of the room, which is like kind of cool. But it seems like it would be really cold. Like it's just big and open. And like, unless you're under the hot water, like you'd be freezing. And like, if it's a cold morning, yikes. So I don't know. I think that shower would be a little bit cold. It's kind of cool how they have the fireplaces in each room. I bet this house is old. If it had fireplaces, it looks like it had fireplaces in a lot of the bedrooms. Any guesses on when this one was built? Oh, it looks like it's a true like 3-story. Any guesses on when this one was built? Do we have any guesses in the chat? Closest one gets a high five. Little gaudy, yeah. But see, yeah, you're right, Angie. It's a little gaudy, but you could like work with it. Like the potential is there, right? Like if we maybe painted this like golden oak a little bit lighter color, maybe, or stained it a different color, that could look good. Got rid of some of these toilets, but yeah, no, you can work with this. So this must be on the 3rd story because I can tell the awkward angles. This is interesting. I actually kind of like this color for this room. It's kind of cool. I don't like that they picked like a gloss, like a semi-gloss finish or something. It's like very glossy, which I don't know. I think that's kind of weird. But this is pretty cool. Oh, all right. Like this is cool. We got the cool pool with the slide. That's fun. Nice big yard. The house looks great from the backside of the house. Looks great. Cool little fire pit area. Nice big lawn. That looks cool. That looks cool. That looks impressive. All right. So for guesses, we got 1888. We got 1919, 1950s, and 1930. I'm going to say 1937. Let's say 1937. Are we ready? It was built in 1940. 1940. Hey, I was pretty close. I was only, 3 years off? Yikes, that's pretty good. Okay, all right. So we're getting out of New York now. And where are we going, MH? We're going, I got to scroll back up through all these comments. MH, where did you want to go? Cresbard. South Dakota. They don't have any homes in the $5 million range. Sorry, MH. If you were looking for a luxury, mansion, they don't have that in Cresbard. But you said it's cheapy, so let's reset this. Let's go up to you said up to 250, and we're gonna do. I gotta do this 0, and then this is gonna be. We'll do 300 just to see if we can get some more results. There's nothing in Cresbard. I don't even. Okay, we're gonna do this. Select all. Do this, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna put no min, no max, any price. There's just nothing in Cresbard, South Dakota, MH. I'm sorry, buddy. It looks like we've got 2 homes for sale. Where the heck are we? Did you put me in the middle of nowhere? MH, are you trolling me? Did you try to give me one of these places where there's no homes for sale? Let's see, where are we? All right, so for those of you that aren't geography majors, South Dakota, we're zooming in. So we're kind of in the upper right-hand quadrant. It looks like we're inland from the Missouri River a little bit, just east of the Missouri River, a few towns over, maybe about 5 towns over from the Missouri River. Boy, it just looks flat there. And here, this is Cresbard. Okay, so, well, we don't have a whole lot of homes to look at, so let's take a look at the 2 that we do have. All right, so for 199, wait. 8 beds, 4 baths. What? 8 beds, 4 baths. Oh, this is got to be an apartment building. Oh, it's a 4-plex. Oh, shit. Oh, shoot. Excuse my language, people. So for $200K, you could get an 8-plex. That's crazy. I mean, you could get your whole family in here. What is this little room? That's kind of weird. What is that? That's weird. I wonder if that goes into the house or something. Okay, so you got like a shared garage set up. This is one of the apartments. Okay. All right. So you could buy 8 units in Cresbard for $200K. Interesting. I love looking at real estate like this. It's interesting to look at how unique it is. Okay, so they got on-site laundry. That's interesting. And then there's a house for $189. What is this? 3 bed, 2 baths. Okay, so we got a house. Looks like a backdrop for a rural murder mystery. You're right, Robert. It does kind of look like that. Yeah, especially like the garage pit. Like that was kind of weird. Good for retirees. Yeah, there you go. Imagine that, right? Imagine if you got like a little group of retirees together, maybe retirees from one of these high cost of living areas, New York, Florida, California, Seattle, these areas. And you're just like, hey, let's just go buy this building for $200K. And shoot, we could, spend another $500K, renovate it. And then we all have our own little compound, right? I lived in that area. I cruise around up there from time to time. There is some very inexpensive homes in nowhere, South Dakota. Yeah, let's take a look at this one. So just your garden variety home. Not a whole lot going on here, but for under $200K, it's a home, right? So the deals are there. No, nice big lot, nice big yard. Hey, not too bad on the inside. It's been updated. It's nice. It's not too bad. Hey, for $200K, 1,600 square feet. I don't know what the heck is in Cresbard. These photos are driving me crazy. They're all crooked and stuff. This one's all blurry over here. Got to get a real photographer out there. But other than that, it's not bad. So that's what $200K gets you in Cresbard. Bring your own job. Yeah, you're going to have to be a telecommuter, says MH. Yeah, I believe it. All right, that's Cresbard. Not a whole lot to look at there. And now we're going to the island, right? What was it? Whidbey. We're going to Whidbey Island. Let's go. Giddy up. Get this off my screen so I can go to the search bar. Whidbey Island, Washington. Okay. All right, let's poke around. Okay, hey, it's not crazy. Wait, is this? Yeah, Oak Harbor. Okay, it's not crazy. I mean, 519, 438. So let's do this. Let's start with this little guy. This is a new listing. It's relatively affordable. Missing some comments here. Here we go. Okay, so this is a new listing. This is 4359 Children's Avenue. Kind of a weird name for a street, but sure. Okay. All right, so here she is. Oh, this is like modular or something. This is manufactured. That's why this is so affordable. This has got to be. Oh, and then they Photoshopped the grass. They're like, this is what it would look like if we did decide to plant grass. Okay, great. Good to know. Yeah, this is like some manufacturer. And what's going on over here? Wow, that house is pretty dang close. That's cute on the inside. It's new. It's kind of what you would expect. I wonder if this is brand new. This kind of looks brand new to me. Oh, maybe not. There's some signs of some things, but they could just be staged items. It's clean. Nothing crazy. But I do wonder if this is a manufactured home. This looks like a prefab or manufactured. Let's see what the listing says. When I look at the interior photos, it doesn't as much. It looks a little bit more traditional. But hey, this isn't bad for under 500K. Not bad for under 500K on an island. Let's see, Michelle. I've been to Whidbey Island. Very pretty there, as with much of Washington. Yeah. And hey, then you could say you live on an island, which is kind of cool. Cheaper than Cali. Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure. Let's see. This is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet. Hey, this isn't bad at all. It is an HOA, but only $118 a month. Be the first one to live in this beautiful 2025 home. So it is brand new. And it doesn't make any mention of it being manufactured. Yeah, single family residence. So yeah, hey, not bad if you're looking for a home on Whidbey and you have some, or if you're price conscious. And hey, you're not far from the beach over here. Cool. Okay, let's go to another one. So that was kind of the one on the more affordable end. Oh, this one for 310. Hey, this isn't bad. 310, and oh, this is a condo. So this is not a home, but still 3-bed, 2 baths for 1,300 square feet. HOA is only 340. Reasonable. Let's see. It's not a great part of town either. Def not a 430K neighborhood. Subjective, I know. Okay, but that's good to know. That's the type of stuff you can't tell on Zillow. And if I may ask you, Soul Journey, what about that? What about, like, is it not a good area? Is it just like, is there more crime, or is it just like more like it's just a sketchier part of town, or is it just not quite as nice? Like what, like would you live there, or is it like avoid that place? What is the HOA for? Is it for landscaping? Let's see if they're going to tell us what the HOA covers. And sometimes on Zillow, that's what I don't like. When I have it on the MLS, it says exactly what the HOA covers. A lot of times it does not on this, and you have to find out from the agent. Okay, so community, it looks like, you're getting some, maybe water is included, and there's a playground, it looks like. So you get a playground. You get a playground. Oh, very close to just, I see what, okay, because I saw this on the map. I see what you're talking about. Let me zoom in. Where was the one that we were just looking at? Oh no, did I lose it? I saw it on the map. There was like what looked like an airport nearby. And of course, now I can't find that house. Oh, here it is. Let's go back to the map. Do this. I'm assuming, is this it right here? This is Whidbey Island Station. Is this a base? Lots of jets. I mean, I like jets and planes. That'd be cool to see them fly over, but I'm assuming, yeah, you're right though. If this is a runway, and this is a runway, which it looks like it is. Oh wait, I don't want street view. Satellite view. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that is exactly what that is. So yeah, so you're gonna have some planes coming in, so it could be a little bit on the louder side. But look how close you are to the beach. I want one of these little places. I wonder if one of these little places is for sale. Let's look at that next. Are there any of those little places for sale? Let's see. Whoa, 3 bases on the island? Holy heck, there must be a ton of armed forces people buying homes. Holy heck. Okay, so it was over here. Oh yeah, let's see. Like, what about one of these little guys? What's this? Oh, it's just a lot. Oh, okay, these are just lots. So for 425. So no houses in. Let's see. I'm sure this has got to be a lot too. Yeah, these are all lots. So no homes there. But not bad. Okay, now let's see. What's like the primo home on Whidbey? Like, let's see what's like the high budget here. Okay, here's 1.5. Got 1.5. This is cool. Wow, look at that. Look at that view. That's pretty sweet. Man, this looks like it's like right out your back door. That is amazing. But it's only 2 beds, 4 baths. But wow, almost 3,000 square feet, but it's only 2 bedrooms. It's a beautiful looking home. Very, very like by the bay cottage looking. Wow, look at that. That's beautiful. That's great presence. I mean, looking back at that home, just what a beautiful, beautiful scene that is. Wow. Okay. That's cool. I like this one. Wow, that's really neat. Beautiful and bright. Good sized kitchen, island. Okay, let's talk about this though. Hate this that this is on an angle. This is like, why is this on an angle? What's the point of that? Why? It's strange. Very strange. Lots of recessed lighting everywhere. You know, like this is a little dated and the color is a little dated, but whatever, it's cool. It's nice. Loft area upstairs, probably amazing view out of that window. Wow. That's gorgeous. If I owned this home, my desk would be literally right here. I would have the desk here. Actually, I might have it like an L shape. So that could be my background for the live streams. How cool would that be if like my background back here was that ocean? And I know I could do it like with like AI and green screen, but like that's not fun because it's fake. Guys, okay, so I need everybody to like and subscribe to the channel so that my channel gets big enough so I start getting paid for YouTube, and then I can upgrade to that house so that you guys can have an awesome backdrop and you guys can watch whales in the background and stuff. All right. Everybody needs to like and subscribe. That's the goal, is to buy this house on Whidbey Island so I can stream from here. That's cool. That's awesome. Whidbey. That's a fun one. I like that one. Let's see what else we got. Let's see something in the more maybe mid-range. Oh, here's a little nugget for $70K in Oak Harbor. It's a manufactured home. But there you go, like 955 square feet, no HOA, built in 78. Sure, it's not much, but it's something. And you're on the island and it's cheap. You know, looks like it's worth 90K or whatever it is. But hey, there's a deal. See, I hate the cabinets not going to the ceiling, but house is like, yeah, I don't like when the cabinets don't go to the ceiling either. That awkward gap is weird. I feel like it's always like super dusty up there. Oh, it's weird. The people I work with there love the rain and cold. They complain when it gets above 70. I would have a hard time with that. I like it warm. I really do. So I'm cool here in Southern California. Whoa, okay. Oh, wait, I'm not sharing the screen with you guys. Take a look at this one. Yo. Boom. Boom. Whoa! That's cool. That's really cool. Look at that picture with the bay there. Wow. That's beautiful. I could live here. I could. Look at that. And is this St. Helens in the background? Is that Soul Journey? Can you confirm? I would imagine if that is, which it probably is because it's giant. What a great image. Like how cool the picture is this. Kudos to this photographer. This is a great image. The house is framed beautifully. You can see the view that you would have. Oh, Rainier. Wait, Baker, Rainier. I need an answer. I think Rainier is probably correct, but I don't know. That's a big mountain. I know Rainier is a big one. I don't know. It looks like a big freaking mountain. It's Rainier. Okay, there you have it. Perfect. Thank you for confirming from the local. That's a beautiful photo. What a cool house that is. All right, let's get, well, that's cool. That's really cool. Very, very neat. Very neat. I love the big fireplace. All the stacked stone is really, really cool. The views, all the woodwork. This is a lot of wood, but I feel like it works in this setting. Like I feel like, you know, kind of like cabin, right? Like the cabin feeling. It works for this. That's really cool. Wow, look how big and open. You know, again, it's a lot of light wood tone. You know, obviously you're going to have to like that, but this is a very natural setting. So again, like I kind of feel like it works, you know? Countertops are a little whatever. Those need to be upgraded. We need to update those a little bit. Is this the only sink? Oh, okay, no, that's a prep sink. The main sink is there. Wow. It would be kind of nice if the sink was like facing the window, but you got the stove facing the windows. That's nice. And with all those windows and all the view, you got a good view from everywhere, it looks like. A little breakfast nook, little dining area. Lots of wood in the home, but man, is it cool. Looks amazing. What year was it built? That's a good question. What's your guess? We're taking guesses on year built for this this oceanfront cabin-esque home on Whidbey Island. 4 beds, 4 baths, 5,800 square feet, 2.375 million. Get your guesses in. We're going to look at the rest of these photos real quick, and then we're going to look at year built. That's a really cool staircase. Look at that kind of craftsman style. Dang, that thing is sweet. Wow, that's really cool. You know, the carpet's a little dated. It's a lot of wood. It's a lot of wood. I could get used to it, but I could see where people would be like, no. But gosh, look at that view. Oh my gosh. Bathrooms, you know, could use a little updating. Wow, talk about a great deck there, a great terrace. Wow, beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, it's got crabs. Look at that. Yeah, this home here. I mean, all of these are beautiful, but this one, I mean, look at how prominent that is. That is great. All the beautiful trees. Excellent. Excellent home. Wow, is this part of the lot too? Dang. That looks like this is like the front driveway. God, that's a lot to maintain and mow. Big, big carport. Cool. All right, guesses on Wednesday. So 1960. I think it's close. I think you guys are close on that. I think it's a little bit newer. I'm going to say 1972. That's my guess. 1972. What do we got? 1992. We were all wrong. Wow. 1992. I thought it was a little bit older than that. But very close on 1 acre. No HOA. So, hey, I mean, you got no HOA. You got 1 acre. It's oceanfront. It's almost 6,000 square feet. Honestly, for 2.375 million, like not insane, not crazy. I know it's a lot of money. I'm not saying it's cheap. I'm just saying that when you look at 4 beds, 4 baths, almost 6,000 square feet, 1 acre of lot, and then all of what you're getting, that's not bad. That's not bad. There's some value there. That's cool. How long has this been on the market? Not just 9 days. I wonder if it'll actually end up selling. All right, guys, let's do one more. If anybody else has a random city, I think I'm going to end it on a random city and a random budget, unless someone in like the next 30 seconds has a city and budget they really, really want me to do. What I'm going to do is this. Let's do this. I'm going to do one more property in Whidbey Island. I'll give you guys some time. If you want to suggest a new location or new price, put it in the chat. After this one on Whidbey Island, we'll either go to that one or we'll do a random one, and then Joe's going to go eat dinner. So let's find one more on Whidbey. We went crazy expensive. We went crazy cheap. Now let's go something in the middle. There you go, 724.7. What's the story on this bad boy? Looks like it's got some views. 3 bed, 3 bath, 2643. Hey, that looks pretty too. That looks nice too. I got some room between the neighbors. Oh, that's kind of an interesting looking house, like something like a little contemporary. This is kind of cool how the houses are like a little bit more staggered. You know, it's not just like Bing, 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 bing. It's not like suburbia, you know, it's not like where I live where, you know, they're all crammed in. It's like, you know, there's different sizes and shapes, and that's kind of cool. This is a neat photo. Oh, that's beautiful sunset. Wow, look at that. Just nothing but some trees in front of you and then the ocean. Wow. That is beautiful. Beautiful. I could hang out there for sure. So, you know, the house from the front's not much, you know, it's pretty plain actually from the front, but from the backside, it really is gorgeous. Nice big stone fireplace. I like that kind of like flagstone, fieldstone look. I really like that. How do you guys feel about this detailing on the windows? Kind of interesting. I don't know if I like it or not. I'm not sure. Kitchen's a little small and there's no island. It would help if there was an island here. Get rid of this bar height table. That's kind of silly. Put an island in here and then you could eat at the island. Plus it'll make the kitchen have a little bit more storage and a little bit more utility. There's not a lot of counter space there. I mean, look at that view from this bedroom. That's pretty cool. Why is there even a TV in here? Get rid of this thing. Look at, you can look out there. It's beautiful. It's the prettiest picture you can get. Okay, updated bathroom. Yeah, this is pretty nice. Not bad for $725. What? Whoa, what is this? This is like some unfinished. Maybe, oh, this must be like the basement. It's a split level, and this must be like the basement. It's like unfinished kind of. Yeah, okay. That's kind of cool. That kind of bonus. It's probably not counted in the square footage. It's probably just like bonus space, bonus room. That's kind of cool. Make it a man cave, make it an office, make it a yoga studio. Not bad at all. Popcorn ceiling. Let's see. Was there popcorn? Probably not. This looks like this home is a little bit more contemporary. Oh, there is popcorn. Oh, Robert, good eye. Good eye, brother. Yeah, why is there popcorn? This house, I feel like this house is newer built. Why did they put popcorn? Let's see what year it's built. Because it feels newer to me. But boy, for popcorn, let's see, let's go back. Oh, 83. Okay. Yeah. So the popcorn thing. Okay. All right. The popcorn thing was still a thing. That makes a little more sense. Cool house. Not bad for $725. Just got a price cut, $25K earlier this month. It's been on for 62 days. So, hey, looks like some of the homes are sitting on there. So very close, Michelle. This one was 83. Very, very close. Very close. Okay, here we go. Last one. MH has got one for us. We're scooting up to Anacortes, which I think is in a similar area. Is it still Washington? Anacortes, Washington. It is. Oh, okay. Oh, it's just like the one island. It's like one island up. Yeah, and it's just connected by like a little. Oh yeah, there's like just tons of little islands here, and it's connected by Highway 20. Okay, cool. Let's see what okay, so some higher price points. So interesting. I don't know this area. MH and Soul Journey, you guys are gonna have to kind of be my remote guides. I don't know this area, but it certainly looks like we've got some more reasonable priced homes too. How close are we to Canada? Is this like freaking Canada? No, but not far. But not far. Okay, you're saying this is a much nicer. What makes it nicer? Like, is it just like more expensive feeling? Is it nicer because it's like further away from all the activity of the bases, or like, I don't know. And maybe it's hard to describe. Maybe it's just nicer because it is. I don't know. But I would be interested to know what you think, Soul Journey. All right, so let's get into it. Let's find a home on the cheaper side. Which it looks like all of these. Yikes! This is some expensive real estate here. $279. Let's see. What's this bad boy? Oh, it's just a lot. No. We want a home. So it looks like up here we got one for $329. Oh, it's just a lot. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of lots. $495. Looks like it's close to a park. Okay, so this looks like it might be like some type of duplex. That's a single family residence. Yeah, but it's an attached. So there's single family detached and single family attached. So these are single family homes. They're not condos. They're not townhomes. They're not apartments. And you own the land that you're on, but it's attached because if you cut a line right down the middle here, it's mirrored. So this whole side is one unit and this whole side is one unit, and they share a wall, which is why they are attached. Let's see. This is where the LTs and CDRs and captains live. More expensive, spot on, farther from base and upscale. Okay, I don't know what LTs and CDRs are in captains, but I'm sure that are those like higher ranking officers? So this would be more for like kind of the people that have a little bit more money to spend, a little upscale. Okay, that makes sense. And okay, closer to the mainland. That makes sense too. I could see why that would pull a premium. So $495, not bad though. I mean, it's pretty clean. It's only 1,300 square feet, but it's 3 bed, 3 bath. You know, if you really wanted to be in this nicer area, according to Soul Journey, you know, if you want to be in this more elevated area, this is not a bad price to pay. You know, it's not mega upgraded, but it's not bad at all. You know, pretty nice. Not bad. Okay, so now let's find something sort of in the mid here. This one's $695. Where is this? Where is this one though? Oh, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool, folks. Some people are petrified of crossing Deception Pass. I don't know what Deception Pass is. I don't want to have anything to do with anything called Deception Pass. That sounds freaky to me. Okay, so we got a 3 bed, 2 bath, 2,100 square feet. And this one looked kind of cool. A little bit of like a mid-century vibe here with like the glass next to the door. But yeah, okay. This is where I'm living. This looks a lot like the living room that's in my house right now. This is actually really freaking cool. I mean, I'm a mid-century person, if you guys haven't been able to tell. I'm definitely a mid-century person, and this is really cool. Wow. Okay, kitchen leaves a little bit to be desired. It's kind of small, but like I would take it. I could work with this. We remodel this. That living room is worth it. It's really open. Like, yeah, this needs to be reworked. This needs to be closed off. And then this whole thing needs to be an updated kitchen. And then there needs to be an island right here. And that would be a little bit more usable. Definitely late 60s built. Definitely. Maybe mid 60s. Mid to late 60s for sure. It looks like a different living area. This one doesn't have a lot of views though. It doesn't have a lot of views. It's kind of just like in a neighborhood, but it's cool. I mean, that living room alone is really, really neat. And it's a garage. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but there it is. It's where you keep your cars. Oh, they got some deer. Look at that. The deer are enjoying it. So overall, like pretty nice. I mean, for $700K, this is beautiful. I think that this is one of the things where like, this is far and away the nicest room of the house. I don't know if the rest of the house is worth it. The kitchen's kind of whatever. The bathrooms are kind of whatever. You know, it's only okay. But boy, man, this room, that's cool. Very, very cool. All right, now we're going to close it out. We're going to do a crazy one. Let's find something that's like stupid. Let's find something stupid. 2.2 million. Let's see if this is cool. I don't even think this is that cool. Like to me, like this house, like it's fine. Like it's cool, right? Like it's all right. Like it's not bad, but it's nothing special. Like it's very generic. Like what do you guys think? What do you guys think when you see homes like this? Like these big homes, they're built newer. You know, they're nice, they're big, high ceilings and stuff. But like, what do you guys think? Does this do it for you? To me, this is just like, it's whatever. Like there's tons of homes like this. I'm sure it's a fine home. You know, I'm sure it's fine, but like 2.3 million? I don't know. 2.2 million rather. Kitchen's big. Kitchen's nice. Nice big kitchen. Looks like nice appliances. I like that stove a lot. This area is way overpriced. Yeah, it kind of seems like it. I think I'll never live there. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. You know, it's okay. It's just, it's not, it's got no pizzazz. It's got no character. It's got no wow factor. It's just a big house. You know, it's a big new house. Oh, there's a nice little view. That's cool. That's a nice little view. But just kind of whatever. There was one back here that I saw right before I clicked on this one. There was another one. This looks kind of cool. I like this curb appeal, kind of craftsman-y looking with a nice landscape. I even kind of like the purple garage door. It's kind of secluded, nice porch. This is cool. I like this. Paint colors need a little help. Nice fireplace, nice open kitchen. This is a little bit cooler, at least to me. Like this has a vibe at least. Oh, that's a really cool room. That's really cool. That's like a tree house. That's like being a tree house. That's really neat. I would like to hang out here for sure. Let's see if there's any cool, oh, that's cool. That's a pretty window. Great view out of there. Is it like an office? That would be cool for an office. Show me the lot. Show me the yard. That's weird. It's like some guest bedroom, like it's for the grandkids or something to sleep. This is kind of weird. It's like a hostel. Nice laundry room. Dang. Oh, that's really cool. Kind of like enchanted forest style. I got the hot tub in the middle of the forest. That's cool. That's neat. Nice big deck. That's cool. I mean, this is cool. This is definitely has that remote feeling. Oh, kind of a cool workshop. That's nice. I'm a workshop guy. Yeah. Wow. So you're just in the forest. That's neat. If you're a nature lover and you want privacy, that's cool. That's a cool home. That's really neat. Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out. We went an hour and a half. We went a lot longer than I thought. Thanks so much for giving me some of your very valuable time. Before we go, though, we got to do one more thing. You guys know the way that this works. If you guys are looking for a real estate agent and you're thinking about buying or selling a property, bingo, this is the website you want to go to, workwithjoerealtor.com. It's going in the chat. If I can work my fingers correctly. Maybe it's going to go in the chat if I can figure this out. There you have it. So if you guys are looking for a real estate agent, don't settle for someone who sucks. Okay. 80% of real estate agents suck. 20% of real estate agents actually know what's going on around them. And if you're thinking of buying or selling anywhere in the United States and you want to ensure that you get a good agent, a 20% agent, an agent that actually knows what they're doing and can service you well, you can go to my website, click anywhere here. You can meet up with me. Bingo. You can fill out it'll take you to a form where you can fill it out. I'll learn a little bit about what you're looking for, whether you're buying or selling, and we will find you an excellent agent. Thank you, MH. All the things I learned watching these channels. That's awesome. Angie, see you later. Have a good evening. Soul Journey, thanks so much for hanging out. Appreciate you. What a great addition. And before everybody leaves, make sure you hit the like button down there. Please like the stream. It really helps me out, helps get the stream to more people, and consider subscribing if you have not. I don't believe I'm going to do it next week. If I do stream next week, I'm going to be out in Maryland. So if I do stream next week, it'll probably be short. It'll be on location, so it won't be as fancy as this. But we'll see. We'll just kind of see how the day goes. And if I'm able to stream, I will. If not, then you guys might see me in 2 weeks. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Thanks so much for giving me some of your very, very valuable time. A great participation from the chat tonight. Thank you so much for all the chatters. Let me see. Who do we got? MH, Angie, Soul Journey, Michelle, Pam, my mom, Robert, a new chatter. Robert, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the chats. Appreciate it. I hope you all had a wonderful first part of your week. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Thanks again for giving me some of your time. Hey, it's crazy out there, guys. So please do something nice for someone. Hold the door open. Let someone in when they're changing lanes. Try to do something nice. Tensions are high right now. It's crazy out there. So try to be a spot of some calming. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good night, everyone. I'll see you later, and see you next Wednesday. Bye, guys.